Hey, everybody, I'm Chad Taylor with the Vegas Podcast, bringing you the who, what, where, and when right here in my own city. And today, I have the who, and the who is David Brandolino. David, introduce yourself.
Great to be here, Chad. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
But I am David Brandolino, and I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing at lasvegasstrip.com.
lasvegastickets.com. So we sell a couple tickets in Las Vegas, don't we?
We do. On occasion, yes.
On occasion. So we met a little while back, and we played some golf together. And I think, like I said last time, if you ever need someone to drive a ball straight down the middle, 350 yards every single time, this is the guy you want to call. Plug for David. Golf tournaments, that's him.
Those are a lot of fun, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a blast. So we met and we got to know each other, and I just really appreciate your style, and I liked you a lot. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have David come on here because he's a good human.
I appreciate that.
So
Likewise.
you're here. Yeah. So you work for Las Vegas, lasvegasstickets.com, and the name lasvegastickets.com. That's top notch.
It is a perfect name to have in Las Vegas, right? Where else are you going to go? But the kicker is most people don't realize we're nationwide.
Oh.
And we're international. So we cover all concert sports.
Got it.
In any city.
Okay.
Here or over the seas.
Here over the seas. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to get into that then. So before we get into lasvegastickets.com, our city, how you guys operate here, all the benefits of it, I want to talk a little bit about you. I want to talk about David. I always like to work with people that I know. I always like to work with people I like. I always like to hear a little bit about their stories. So number one, where did you grow up?
I grew up in West Los Angeles, probably 2-3 miles south of UCLA. Very moderate home.
Yeah.
5 siblings, mom and dad, 3-bedroom home. One of those old school West LA homes.
Okay, 5 siblings. So brothers, sisters?
Yeah, so I have 3 brothers and 1 sister.
3 brothers, 1 sister.
I'm the youngest of 5.
Youngest.
Right. So did that, and I have my own 3 kids, so
okay,
there's plenty of us to go around.
Do you have big family reunions?
Huge.
I love it.
Yeah.
That and the last name would lead a little bit towards the Italian side, I'm assuming.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
All right. So big, loud family reunions. A lot of food.
A lot of everything. Yeah.
All right.
We don't do things in small amounts.
Right. So LA. So you were in LA, and what other places have you lived around the U.S. throughout your life?
My gosh. So I lived in Costa Mesa.
Okay.
Bought a house in Agoura Hills, California, which is the northwestern part of Los Angeles.
Got it.
But I've actually lived in Las Vegas. This is my 3rd time.
Oh, 3rd time a charm?
3rd time charm.
Got it. So you've moved here, moved back, moved here, moved back.
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that about you. That's fantastic. How long have you been here this last run?
This is going on 3 years. December.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gone fast.
Okay, so grew up in LA. So you obviously are in the ticketing business, and we had talked one time, and you have a little story about how you got into the ticketing business. So we know you grew up in LA. Now tell me a little bit about your childhood, because I think it does lead into what you do these days. I think it was kind of neat.
It does. You know, back in those days, as a I want to say 7th grade, maybe 8th grade.
Okay.
We just we're those kids who like to make a buck, the old-fashioned way. So we would go and scalp the old UCLA Bruin days with Bill Walton. We would scalp tickets for all the Rose Bowl games when the Rose Bowl was the Rose Bowl. It was UCLA or USC versus, one of the Big Ten schools, Michigan or Ohio State. So we got in the habit of going, and, back in the days at UCLA, you could buy an $8 ticket, and it was a paper stub, right?
And where would you buy an $8 ticket? Online at a kiosk?
At the Poly Pavilion.
So you'd actually go to the pavilion and buy the tickets.
Buy the tickets.
Okay.
And we also had, because our community was such that people did have season tickets too. Okay. So they'd always, because we're kids, oh, you want to go to the game? Well, sure, and you start collecting tickets, and then so you go in, and they would rip the stub in half. Well, back in the day, you could walk out of the stadium during the game and go back in the stadium.
Okay.
So because of that, you could resell the stub. So if you went outside and you had the stub, you turn around and people would be out there like, "Hey, you have any tickets?" And be like, "Yeah, sure." And there's another $10 or $20.
So you were able to sell the tickets twice.
Yes.
We can't do that anymore.
You
Technology.
can't do that anymore.
Can you?
No, it's all electronic now.
It's all electronic now.
Yeah.
That's great.
They took the fun away.
You still remember that group of friends you used to run with?
Oh, yeah, very well.
Very much so.
Very well.
So you started selling tickets at a young age, and you're selling tickets today. So you moved back to Vegas a few times. How did you end up, or what landed you at Las Vegas Tickets? Tell me a little bit about that.
That's a crazy story. So
let's do it. I like crazy.
Yeah, this is a good one. So my first run in Las Vegas was 88, 89. Worked at Caesar's Palace in the hotel business. Okay. So manager of one of the Cafe Roma restaurant. And there's 3,500 people coming through a day in this restaurant. So you get to meet everybody and anybody.
Got it.
And a gentleman came in one day. His name was Scott Sulky, and he was in the television business for sports. Okay. So he did Chiron, he did all the graphics, so we got to know each other. And one day he came in, and I was getting ready to leave Vegas after a couple of years and moved down south to Orange County, and he lived down there. So he said, come stay with me. I'm never home. I'm always on the road. I'm home maybe a few days a month.
Okay.
So I moved down there as a transition. Let's fast forward, what is it?
A lot of years.
35, 36 years, right?
A mature amount of time.
So, we had stayed in touch here and there on and off. We see each other. And I was in Vegas, and I came out here for a job opportunity.
Okay.
Which was great, and then it just kind of got fleshed out. So I was sitting out here thinking, am I going to stay in Vegas? Am I going to go back to Los Angeles? And on Facebook, he popped up as being in Las Vegas. Well, he was a Colorado guy his whole life, for the most part. So I contacted him. We had lunch, and he said, I'm working at Las Vegas Tickets. My brother, Ken Sulky, owns Las Vegas Tickets.
Right.
I'm leaving my position. This would be a great transition for you to come in.
Right.
So,
Did you sell tickets with you met Sulky in Vegas, so you didn't sell tickets with him, but did you tell him your story about selling tickets when you were a kid, when you met with him for lunch?
No, I didn't. No.
But he knows it now?
He knows it now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I ended up sitting down with Kenny, his brother, who owns the company.
Yeah.
And a couple of months later, I stepped into the role.
Right.
Scott left. And, it's just a great... It's a message to everybody. We live in a very small world.
Yes.
As big as we think it is.
For sure.
You keep your friends. You keep in contact with everybody. It's a lesson for the younger people out there.
Don't burn any bridges.
Don't burn bridges. Try to stay in contact here and there with the people, because you just never know what's going to come up.
Yeah, that sounds like it was very kismet. Like you were trying to decide whether to stay or go, and then that pops up and it happens.
Exactly.
It lands you exactly where you're supposed to be.
Yes.
It's kind of like my wife of 25 years. She was in Vegas looking for work, or she was out of work and looking for work again, or was thinking about going back home to South Dakota. And her friend was like, hey, I know this company, or give them a call. And I happen to be the one there interviewing her, and the rest is history 25 years later. How does that happen?
And it's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's happened more than once. So,
right.
Whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's you have your Facebook, I have 2 accounts, one for all my old college and high school and, business,
right.
The other one's playtime.
So you hook up, you're working at Las Vegas Tickets. You've been there for the last 3 years. From what I see, you're doing a really good job at it, because you're always busy and you never have time to golf. So,
well, I do make time.
For golf.
Do.
So it's going well. You just had a big fight, the UFC. I know that was a big fight.
I wasn't in the fight, but we there was 2. Because
you're right.
You don't see any cuts.
I was gonna say you look pretty good for that fight.
Yeah.
But you guys sell tickets for the UFC, right?
We do.
You sell tickets for everything.
Everything, yeah. I mean, the biggest, Premier Boxing, UFC, Golden Knights, Raiders. A lot of them, all the major concerts. There's really nothing we can't get our hands on when it comes to whether it's suites, the VIP experiences.
Right.
We help everybody. We work with 24 hotels with a concierge team, so we assist their guests with tickets.
Yeah, I think that was something that I found unique that you'd said, is that you have a B2B and a B2C. So you sell to the general public, but you also sell to a concierge groups, and then those concierges take care of the guests. So if you're out of town coming to town and you have a concierge, typically, a lot of times they're going to call you or Las Vegas Tickets to pick it up for them, which is awesome. Or a customer can call you directly as well, or go online and order.
Correct.
Okay.
The key is, in any business, any market, you have your B2C, but because we're in Las Vegas, you have to have those alliances with other resources in town
Yeah, absolutely.
to keep your business,
Yeah, it's the
top.
it's the reseller market.
And we also have 1,000 travel agents we deal with too. So
really,
yeah, so internationally, here locally, nationwide. So I'm always working with those travel agents that bring in groups of people, whether it's a Raider. So if the Chiefs are coming to town, they're a great traveling team.
yeah.
They have groups of 45, 50 people all coming at once. We set them up with all these, as best we can to get the seats close together as possible.
Got it. So you can do group tickets. If somebody has a big group and they're coming to Las Vegas and they want to make sure they get everybody together, they would call someone like you to help them arrange all of those tickets.
Yeah, and I tell everybody on the front end. So when the tickets first come out for a whole NFL season, the best part about you have to be on the front end of that. Don't wait till the season starts.
Okay.
Tickets are being sold, and so it's harder to get tickets that are, grouped together.
That makes a lot of sense. I didn't know that group ticketing was a thing. I was naive to that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a lot of groups in Vegas, so that really works.
A lot of corporate.
And I noticed that with the sports now, and tell me if you noticed this, what I've seen is the travel time, people being here. With the new sports in Las Vegas, what I'm seeing is people are showing up and leaving quickly, though. They're not staying as long as they used to. Like the length of stay has changed a little bit. Have you noticed that at all? Like they're in and out?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, which is, I guess it's fine. It's a good thing. People are still coming, number one, right? And they show up, they see a game, but it just goes to show how easy it is to fly into Vegas and get back out of Vegas, and our airport's fantastic.
And it's truth because when I was here in 88, 89, before, the city blew up,
yeah,
the mirage was just going up. And it was more of a gambling town. Everyone came here to gamble. Now it's shifted to where, and the hotel room rates were cheap. Buffets were cheap. Right? Everything was cheap because you came here to spend your money in the casino.
Right.
That's all changed.
It is a little more expensive these days for sure, for everybody and everything. And let me ask you, from ticket prices, you've watched ticket prices over 20 or 30 years, maybe not like as close as you do now, but how is ticket pricing as the world sits? Are they twice as expensive as they ever were? Or are they 5 times as expensive? Like, how much was a ticket when you were a kid, and how much is a ticket now? And just
no, the Rams were $10 a ticket when I was a kid. The Rose Bowl was $26 face value. UCLA Bruins was $10 a ticket.
Wow.
This hub here, this Las Vegas hub, is going to be and is the priciest ticket of any city.
Right. Well, you're
going to pay 1.5 to 2 times what you would pay anywhere else, if not more.
So a ticket back then was $8 a game in the 80s, and now
that was in the 70s.
In the 70s, okay. Yeah. And what is a ticket price today for a game? A low
take a Raider game. If you want to sit on the 400 level, you're going to spend $350 to $400.
$350 to $400.
Yeah, now, that all depends on the season. So when the season, before the season starts, everybody's pumped and hyped.
Yeah.
And the prices are, set. And as the season goes along, based on, the record determines really the value of the ticket as you go on.
Got it. So your pricing, that would mean that your online system essentially has to update itself in real time?
Correct.
And it does?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not just a reseller, so we buy a lot of our own inventory.
Okay.
So we set a lot of our own pricing. So that's great news for those that want to come to Las Vegas Tickets and get tickets somewhere because we hold the inventory and we can price things the way we see fit. Our goal is to get rid of inventory. Our goal is to take care of our clients.
Right.
That's the bottom line. It doesn't do me any good to hold a whole bunch of tickets because I want to sell them at this price and I can't get it. No. So the market's always fluctuating.
Got it. How many ticketing companies would you say there are in the United States?
Oh my God. Hundreds. And has most everybody gone online? Everybody has.
Everybody's online.
Yeah. You have to be online today. I mean, It's not like the old days where you went to the record store and stood in line, or Blockbuster, or or went to the box office and stood in line. Some of it here they do at the hotels.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's all online.
Okay. Do you know how many tickets a year potentially sell in Las Vegas? Would you have any idea, based on like your numbers? Could you make a guess of how many tickets are sold in a city over a year's period?
I couldn't even tell you.
Okay, we'll have to research it. We'll have to find out. No, that's fine.
I have to research that.
I like to ask crazy questions.
That number's astronomical because there's just a million. I mean, millions upon millions.
Yeah. Do you think we're approaching a billion? Maybe.
Oh yeah, easily.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're gonna look into that. All right. So LA to Vegas, back and forth throughout your life, Italian family, big holidays, you're selling tickets, you're in Las Vegas. Everybody wants a guy in Las Vegas. I got a guy.
I got a guy. Right?
So basically now we can tell everybody that you're the guy, right? David is your guy in Las Vegas. Where do you guys promote most of your stuff? Do you guys have social medias or Facebooks or any of that kind of stuff?
We do. Yeah, we have Facebook,
Instagram.
Twitter. We're just getting into for the most part. You know, when I got there 3 years ago,
Yeah.
you know, the company is 30 years old. So, you know, Kenny has a world of relationships over 30 years.
Got it.
People know him and his brand.
Right.
My goal was to get the brand out, and he had affiliates too with the hotels. My job was to grow and expand on the affiliates, and then also reach the B2C. So right now I'm in developments of refacing the website, making things, you know, more user friendly, you know, and getting that information out to the public.
So I did notice something about that. I want to say this because I know you're working on it. Tell me about the images. So the images are all the same for different shows in a category, and I found it very interesting, and they're that way currently. Why?
Because you can't. You have to license.
They're
all licensed by Live Nation.
Isn't that crazy?
And so, what happened was before I got there, they were using images.
Okay.
And so, as you know, you have the rovers on the website that go and they put the image in and they want to see who's using the image, you know, without, you know, proper rights. So we would get letters here and there and saying, you know, you're using this, you're using that. And so finally I said, forget it. We're just going to go to one image. But I'm getting rid of all that in the new fit. You won't see like every name under the sun.
Got it.
You know, as far as you'll see who's coming, but it's just more user-friendly, especially on the mobile side.
Okay.
But there's so many images you could use.
Yeah. Can you go out and take your own images?
Yes.
Or I mean, obviously it's very time consuming, and the shows change a lot, but you kind of would have to go out and get all your own images.
It's true. And we're starting to build our own catalog.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So it is something I noticed because when I first showed up at the site, I was like, why is it not like a picture of this person or a picture of this person or a picture of that person? So that makes perfect sense.
Yep.
And it's that licensing stuff. It's kind of like the games and the bars and stuff. They've raised the pricing and the licensing for this stuff. It gets more and more expensive for everybody.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
And if you look at a lot of the ticketing broker sites, a lot of them don't use. A lot of them that did use images, everybody cut out and went, you know, the same direction we went, was just, you know, generic static
stuff
type.
Yeah, so
it's too expensive to license, you know, everybody and anybody, and you don't need images actually to sell. It adds, you know, it's good to have that vision.
Yeah,
you know,
from a creative perspective,
Yes.
I want to see an image, right?
Yeah.
And so I brought it up because I want people to know that if they do go to the website to purchase tickets, my first response was like, what's going on here? And so that people would know, like, if you go there, it's the way it is. It's fine. Very reputable company, been around for a long time, going to deliver your tickets exactly how you need them. So I wanted to bring that up for sure.
Well, and we do, you know, I did it that way, and I don't mind the way the site is now. I mean, you know, you're going to see, I put everybody on there who's coming like in the next 2-3 months, so you have a really good idea. What we do offer, what a lot of people don't, is we have a calendar. So we have an Excel calendar by month. So if you get on our mailing list, we'll send you out and email you out, you know, who's coming from comedy, sports, you know, and concerts.
So people want on that list. So let's say that right away. So if I go to your website, homepage, sign up for the newsletter, and you will email a list of all upcoming shows in the future in Las Vegas.
Correct.
That is a big deal.
Yes.
That's a huge deal.
Because to search, which is part of the biggest problem with whether you're trying to buy a ticket, or whether you're trying to figure out, you know, who's coming, it takes time. I just try to make things very convenient.
And you did, and I've received your list. So I'll tell people I received your list, and it's awesome. It shows me all the shows, what's upcoming, the dates, what's happening, and to get that into your email box is fantastic. And number two is when you're searching online for something, you always have to remember that everybody's trying to tell you what to go to.
Right.
So essentially, when you do a search in Las Vegas for shows, attraction, tours, or whatever, the person that's going to be up the top is the person spending the most money to get up top, or hard stop. It is the person spending the most money to be at top, one way or the other. Either they've spent it over time or they're spending it now. So if you want a list that is just a real list of what's upcoming,
there's no gimmicks. There's
no fluff.
Somebody paid me money to put you at the top. We don't do that.
No clickbait. So I'm going to look at, so go to lasvegastickets.com, subscribe to their newsletter, and then get the list in your email box every single month or week.
You can get it once a month. Yeah.
Once a month.
Because
in
we
your
go
email
out
box.
5 months into the calendar.
Okay, great.
So you already know ahead of time into February, March, so you can set your, you want to travel, you travel.
Yeah.
You can set it off.
That's fantastic. No, that's a big deal. Okay, so the newsletter is something that most people haven't heard about and would want. Tell me something else fantastic about Las Vegas Tickets. Like, tell me a little bit about your concierge system. You have a lot of concierge that you work with. How does that system work? If I'm a guest and I show up in Vegas, I just go to my concierge and they handle it all?
Yeah, they have a mirrored website of our site. So they log in and they have access to everything,
So just be like coming through you.
So basically they're just going in like anybody else would.
Okay.
They show their guests, they show them our calendar. So we provide with them a monthly calendar, and all the dates are filled in with who's coming and all that. So we provide like the monthly calendar, we provide another type of monthly calendar, only it's on paper.
Got it.
And
paper,
so
what is that?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
allergic.
laminated. It's laminated. It's nice. And they just show the guest, and it's like boom, boom, boom. It's about speed.
Okay.
And the guest time, to them is a value. They want to be out on the floor. So when they go see the concierge, who's playing, who's performing, whatever, what can I go see? Concierge puts the calendar out. Nice. They pick, they buy the tickets and go.
It's got to be fast.
It's
I like
fast.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So when I fly into Las Vegas, if I land in Las Vegas, you have a location over here on Sunset. So if I'm driving in from LA or I'm driving in from somewhere locally, I could actually stop by your office and you have people there who could help me or walk me through it if I really wanted to.
We're there 7 days a week.
Okay.
So anywhere between 8:30 in the morning, 8 o'clock at night, we're there. So you'll typically see, lines when there's the fight nights.
Okay.
That draws the most people into the office.
Right.
Per se, not really so much because everything else is online for the most part.
And I can see your LED sign from when I take off and when I land. You can see the LED sign on the south side of the airport.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So people know where it's at. So you mentioned at the beginning a little bit about you're called Las Vegas Tickets. This is called the Vegas Podcast. Obviously, we're here because we promote Las Vegas. We live here. We love our community. But you also sell tickets like nationwide. Talk to me a little bit more about nationwide ticket sales. You sell tickets for Chicago, for St. Louis, for other cities, other games, other stadiums?
We do because, we do purchase our own inventory. So in special events, it could be the professional bull riders. It could be we'll buy tickets for AAA baseball across the country. Any marquee events, we do Broadway in New York. We had to expand because of our base with the travel agents and everybody. And not everybody just comes to Las Vegas. We can do Wimbledon in England. We do a lot of the high.
Now you're going out of the country. Now you're going out of the country. You said in country. All right, we can go to Wimbledon. So then let me ask you a question. As a Las Vegas local, if I want to go do something in the United States, I got a guy.
Yes.
I can have my guy in Vegas.
Yep. We'll have you all set up before you even get there.
Before I even leave.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
That's right.
I like that.
And as you know, 75% of the people that come to Vegas don't know what they're going to do when they get here.
No, I actually saw a stat almost up to 82%. They land before deciding. Well, who knows what numbers these days on the web.
Which gives us an upper hand because, our marketing tactics and to get out there with the hotels.
Right.
It's a great opportunity to get in front of people, whether it's transportation companies. We work with just about anybody who, where the people come in and they get through the airport.
Yeah.
We want eyeballs.
Yeah, for sure. And you got the driver. Someone jumps in a car and they're like, hey, where do I get some tickets? What can I do? And I know you're working on some programs on that. I don't know whether you can talk about those things or not, but is there anything new or upcoming for Las Vegas Tickets that people would want to know about other than you're the guy?
Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the day, the most important part to realize that we're not just a reseller. Okay. So we're not just someone who's on the train that just markets and does there's no fulfillment on their end. There's nothing. Right. There's no hands-on. There's no relationship. The key for our company is the relationships that we've built. Right. So we have a tremendous following and repeat business. You got a lot of skin in the game. And that carries on. Yeah. I mean, the word gets out there. So the key is we're old school. We like to do things that way. I don't know where everybody else is from, but if I'm not having a conversation with you, nobody knows who anybody is anymore in this world. True. All we see is a sign or, a website. But to get to know the people behind the doors, those that have those relationships over the years in our generation, it really lends a big hand
It
when
helps.
it comes to anything in life.
It helps for sure. Sadly enough, I'm not a sports guy. I never grew up sports. It was independent surfing, skateboarding, wakeboarding, right? Which is probably why I'm at the lake now, because I continue to do those things. Actually, after 12 years, I stood up on a wakeboard. I don't know if you have on my Facebook page or not, but 12 years I got out on a wakeboard. I'll tell you what, I was a lot wobblier.
I saw it.
It was bad, but it felt really cool. All right, so Las Vegas tickets, nationwide tickets. If I'm a local, I can buy tickets. What else is going on? Anything happening in town here over the next 30 days or that's happening that you think is...
Everybody's getting ready for the Formula One again, coming in November.
Are you selling Formula One?
We're selling Formula One, the National Finals Rodeo in December, which is huge.
Yes.
Of course, the Golden Knights are kicking off. Tomorrow night, my Kings, Golden Knights, exhibition game. So hockey's kicking off again. Football's in, third week, going on fourth week.
Okay.
So we're getting into that time where, everybody's here. The Eagles are at the Sphere,
It's just busy.
It's busy, from new additions coming. Bruno Mars Pink was just here.
Pink was here?
Yeah.
I wonder why my wife didn't make me take her to Pink, one of her favorites.
I had tickets in a suite for you guys. You should have told me you were fans.
Oh, don't tell her
And they were free, too.
Don't.
I got the bird.
You're in trouble.
I had 20 tickets in a suite.
Oh,
and
no.
I was calling all the hotels and the concierge and giving them away.
So we're at the corner, the entrance to Las Vegas. The Vegas Podcast sits at the entrance to Las Vegas, coming out of the Harry Reid International Airport, and we have those big digital signs out front that are going to be a blast, and we're going to have fun with them. We can do some ticket giveaways on the show.
Yes.
Something come up, we'll work something out where we can give some tickets away. I really like
Absolutely.
some free stuff, some branding, and
If you're cool enough to watch Vegas Podcast, you're cool enough to get a deal.
you're the best. You're the best. Is there anything else, whether concierge or the general public or anything that you would like to tell them? Like, my kids call it cringe. They're like, Dad, stop selling stuff. Right? Like, Dad, you're middle-aged man. Stop selling. Just tell them what you got.
We're getting out more in the community. We're working more with corporate. We liked it.
Okay.
We want to grow the local business. I guess, for us who live here, we pay. What people don't understand is they come here and we also pay the tourist prices.
Yeah,
So
that's
we
true.
want to
The
get
locals
back
do.
to the corporate and where the employees, everybody can get the benefits and get a deal. We're also in. We have 3 other offices. So we're in Southern California.
Okay.
We're in Sherman Oaks, Costa Mesa, and Nashville. So
Oh, you're in Nashville as well.
Yeah.
Nashville's a busy city.
yeah. So
Okay.
we're around.
All right, very much. So there's a couple questions I ask people towards the end here. We're wrapping it up, right? So one of them is, if you could meet anybody or do anything in the next 6 months, what would it be? Anything.
I don't have the guts, but I would love to take. I wouldn't know why. I'd love to take that drop off the Strat.
The stratosphere? So is it the bungee jump or a free
Yes.
fall?
Yeah, it's the bungee jump.
It's a bungee jump.
Yeah.
Okay, at the Strat. All right.
I mean, I'll sit there and have dinner and watch these people.
Yeah.
And the winds. It's always windy up there. And
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, how much do I have to consume
To-
to actually take that plunge?
take that plunge?
I don't think it's worth it.
Well, here's the good news. We're going to find out.
Yeah.
So then my next question for you is, I work with the Clark County School District and with the mentor stuff, and continue to give back as much as possible. And I'm trying to really I'm trying to really narrow in these mentor moments in the classrooms in the mornings and let these kids know that you live in Las Vegas, you grow up in Las Vegas. There are a lot of things that you can do in Las Vegas as a community. Is there anything that you would tell a 6th through a 12th grader in school today about working in Las Vegas, or a career and what you do or how you do it personally?
Yeah, and I think for kids, nowadays it's a lot tougher than what we had, especially with all the social media.
Right.
They're under a lot of pressure in a lot of different ways. My thought, my opinion, and my thought to any kid those age would be, it's important to have someone in your life that, whether it's a parent, and if you don't have that,
Coach, a teacher,
a teacher, somebody in any direction that that can help coach you in a field or an interest that you have, and to take you on. There's plenty of people out there.
Right.
I do it. It's like it inspires me if a kid comes up and says, "Hey, I'm really interested in this,"
Right.
or "Could you tell me something about this?"
Right.
And it really adds so much value to your life to be able to provide that information to those. So I would tell any kid, find yourself a mentor.
I wish I would have paid you to say that.
Yeah, no, and it's always
You
been
just said that.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's everybody needs a mentor. Even adults still need mentors sometimes in careers. I mean, there's people that can lead you. I mean, I know you do, but
no, listen, I continue to seek my mentors out. I have a wall full of mentors. You've seen my wall.
Yes.
I've got 32 of them at this point, and I don't take that lightly. A mentor by nature, we can't learn anything unless we learn it from somebody. And in a perfect world, it would be a one-to-one. Right. Because there's 1 billion people on the planet to got it together, and there's potentially 1 billion that need help. Or there's 4 billion, there's 8 billion on the planet, there's 4 billion that have it together, and there's 4 billion that could use the help. And if it was a true one-to-one, that would be something fantastic.
Yeah, I find in this generation, the younger kids, they have a bigger challenge ahead. And for those who can get this message, because we know we all thought when we were young we knew it all. Right. But it's more challenging for them today. And I mean, I read a statistic today that most of these Gen Zs are 45% are being fired over, coming to work late or, causing problems at work or not. I'm finding all these statistics now about the younger ones getting fired and fired fast because they don't have that work ethic or they weren't. Right. When we were young, we went out and hustled. Right. We went out and mowed lawns or scalp ticket, whatever the heck we did.
Sold tickets twice.
We found our way when we were young. It was
awesome.
You just did stuff. You know what I mean? They don't do that today.
Okay. Finally, David, thank you for coming on.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Thank you.
Got a great show.
And we're going to do another
one. I wish you the best.
I appreciate that.
I know it'll do well.
Yeah, we're going to do another one. So I'm going to have you on the Human Connection show, and we're just going to sit and have a killer conversation because I want to have that with you. So appreciate you all. If you stayed here till the end, hit that subscribe button, like, follow, share with somebody. We appreciate it. Thank you.